Welcome to the Explainer. So, today we are going to do something literally mind-bending. We're going to learn how to teach a computer to understand the real world. We aren't just writing lines of code here, we are building a digital mini-universe from absolute scratch using a tool called Protege. By the time we're done, you're going to know exactly how to define concepts, set up relationships, and build logical rules that actually let a computer infer brand new knowledge all on its own. All right, let's dive right in. Here's our blueprint for the build today. We're covering meet your ontology editor, installation and basic setup, building your first classes, defining rules and properties, individuals and the reasoner, and finally, best practices and next steps. We're taking you from an empty downloads folder to a logically reasoned, functional OWL ontology in just a matter of minutes. Step 1. Meet your ontology editor. Because before we can build anything, we need the right tools.
Right out of the gate, we've got a choice to make. Protege comes in two main flavors, desktop and web. Now, we're going with Protege Desktop. Why? Well, web Protege is great if you're collaborating with a team, sure, but desktop gives us the whole shebang. We're talking total local file control, massive plugin support, and most importantly, direct access to the built-in reasoning tools we absolutely need for this project. It's the industry standard for a reason.
Step 2. Installation and basic setup. Let's lay down the foundation. So, you download the official package from the Protege website. But hey, pay super close attention here, because this is exactly where beginners trip up. You absolutely must extract the entire zip archive to a permanent folder. Do not, and I repeat, do not, run it from inside the compressed zip file, or the app won't be able to find its plugins or the Java runtime. Oh, and if you're on a Mac or Linux machine and it blocks the app from opening, don't panic. Just allow it in your system security settings, or for Linux, use the chmod command to give it executable permission. Simple as that. Okay, before we start placing our digital bricks, we really need to tweak the workspace. Dive into your preferences and change your entity rendering to readable annotations, specifically RDS label. If you skip this step, Protege is going to display everything using full technical identifiers and giant web addresses, which makes your ontology practically unreadable. Trust me on this one. Also, a quick heads up on memory settings in that jvm.conf file, just leave them at the default for now. Throwing way more memory at a small project doesn't magically make it run faster. When you hit File and New, Protege is going to ask for an ontology IRI. Think of this, well, it's not just a file path on your laptop. It's the permanent, absolute, globally unique name for your new universe. Even if you're just practicing, it's an incredibly good habit to use a web-style format like example.org/ontologies/university. It just gives your digital world a solid, absolute identity. Step 3. Building your first classes. Let's erect the framework. In this world, we call our categories classes, and every single class you create automatically sits right under a built-in root class called OWL_thing. So let's build out our hierarchy. We'll add course and person straight under OWL_thing. Then right underneath person, we'll drop in lecturer and student. Now here is a golden rule. Always, always use singular nouns for your classes. It's student, not students, because a class represents the category of a single individual object. Step 4. Defining rules and properties. Time to wire the plumbing. You really need to draw a hard line in your mind between two different types of properties here. First up, we have object properties. These connect entities to other entities, like a student is enrolled in a course, entity to entity. But data properties? They connect an entity to a literal value, like text, an integer, or a date. So a student has student ID of the text string ST001. Make sense? Object is entity to entity. Data is entity to literal. Now, when you set up these properties, you'll define a domain where the relationship starts and a range where it points. But listen, be incredibly careful with these. They are not just simple form validation rules to catch user typos. No way. They are actual logical axioms. The computer uses them to actively infer new information. If your property requires a student as its domain, and you apply it to someone named Aisha, the system automatically deduces that Aisha must be a student, even if you never actually explicitly said so. It's kind of like magic. Step 5. Individuals and reasoner. Let's move some residents in. We've got our rules, so let's add the data. Over in the Individuals tab, we create our specific residents. We create an individual named Aisha, and we say she's a student. We create semantic web and assign it to course. Then we link them up using the properties we just wired together. Aisha is enrolled in semantic web, and her ID is ST001. We literally just turned abstract rules into a concrete, totally understandable statement. But wait, how do we actually know our new universe makes logical sense? We run a reasoner. Protege packs a built-in reasoner called HermiT. Just hit Control or Command R. HermiT is basically your digital building inspector. It scans the whole ontology, calculates any inferred knowledge, and, crucially, hunts for logical contradictions. If you built a broken rule that's logically impossible, HermiT catches it and dumps that class into a special category called owl nothing. If that stays empty, boom, your universe is logically sound. Step 6. Best practices and next steps. It's time for the final inspection. Remember, just opening an ontology from the web doesn't make it yours. You have to hit File, Save As to get a local, editable copy. You'll want to save it in a standard format like RDF/XML or Turtle. The underlying logic is exactly the same. They just look a bit different as text files. And hey, for serious projects, put everything in Git. Version control is an absolute game changer, so you can track and reverse your modeling choices over time. Okay, before you run off to build massive projects, let's talk beginner mistakes. The absolute biggest one? Treating classes like visual folders. Remember, your classes have deep, formal logic. They aren't just for organizing files on your screen. Also, don't mix up a class with an individual. No spaces in your identifiers. Rely on those readable labels instead. And never, ever forget to run your reasoner. Your ontology might look visually perfect to your eye, but be hiding deep logical contradictions that only the reasoner can catch. So, defining the domain, creating the concepts, connecting them, adding examples, running the reasoner, and saving. That 6-step workflow we just cruised through? It's the exact same blueprint professionals use for massive, real-world knowledge graphs. You are legitimately using pro tools with a professional workflow here. You just successfully built a logically consistent, functioning university ontology. You now possess the skills to teach a computer to understand incredibly complex rules and relationships. So, the only question left for you is, what digital universe are you going to build next? Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and happy building.